variety of guys just trying to get used to being on the dirt again. Maybe a guy like Brett Moffitt, who has plenty of modified experience on the dirt, but they're in the truck going around in practice. And here's the 33 of Braden Mitchell as well. Logan Seavey, the USAC National Series midget points leader. First time in a truck going around in the dirt trying to find the limits. On board here with Ryan Newman. Ran third here in the inaugural Dirt Derby. Back in the truck for Jordan Anderson. How about Stuart Friesen? A little harder hit for the guy that many consider to be the favorite to win the race later tonight. And in that final practice last night, John Provenzano in the 0-3 going sideways.
Looks like he got a little tight there on entry and picked the gas up. Just a little nervous there at the steering wheel. Kind of got the car or the truck unbalanced there and snapped around on exit. Quite a bit of damage there.
Now this team will be able to recruit Chief. Into the outside wall. Hard. But he'll keep going.
Coughlin's run here a couple of times before, finished 19th and 11th. Mitchell going around, Braden Mitchell, and then the 0 of Cicerelli around as well. He needs to finish in the top 2 to transfer. Caution is out.
Ray Cicerelli.
With Tanner Thorson. There he is up in 1 and got the cushion there and then really got up on it here.
The wall off here, right there, exactly where he hits it. It kind of, if you had an overhead view of it, it kind of, feels like it creeps back out at you. So you can see as the dirt kind of.
52 of Stuart Friesen, the pick for many down, not just downstairs in the pit area, but
more confident. 21 sideways.
The green is still out. Now the yellow comes out as Ben Rhodes, the leader, was coming up on Sauter. Sometimes when they get around, they'll leave the green out if they can.
It's been exciting. You see Todd Gillen getting the fence down the backstretch.
Kyle, when you exit turn 4, it just seems, or turn 2, excuse me, it just seems to narrow up. He got in the wall early in the turn and just.
For caution is out, and that's the 45 of Fontaine, who has gone around and.
Down in the turn. Check this out. You called it, Kyle. Look at the trust that Ben Rhodes put in Friesen not to cut him off. And Friesen did a nice job diving in the corner, but watch Wyndham.
Yeah, you see Wyndham last minute trying to check up, not really expecting Friesen to run that line. Nothing Friesen did wrong either, but Wyndham just went in there a little bit of misjudgment and definitely turned him around.
A couple of spinners back in the pack, including Sheldon Creed, that kind of put up a block where the other drivers didn't run in to Friesen as he spun. So you can see Matt Crafton and Enfinger doing a nice job. Ryan Newman up high, but then there were spinners behind them that sort of block out. There's Creed going around.
It's a lot of fun watching those guys drive from the back here on this this restart.
Who's riding on board with Friesen.
That's a scary feeling right there.
You know the world's coming, right?
Yeah.
Well, you saw it the side-by-side, the 17 of Tyler Dipple, the 18-year-old, connecting with the 88 of Matt Crafton. They brought out the yellow, and during this caution, Ryan Newman has come to pit road. Crafton has left rear damage as well, so let's take a look at it as they get into turn 1. Crafton on the inside and
just tried to get, and you saw Ryan Newman come through there late and caught his right front on Crafton. You could tell Dipple wasn't very thrilled with Matt Crafton. He ran up beside him and showed his displeasure, but that's just hard racing. Matt certainly didn't expect Dipple to come down so much and just had contact.
I mean, Dipple looks like he just hangs a left on him and not quite clear low and gets himself in trouble to me.
Dipple was running 4th at the time. I mentioned just 18 years old, the youngest to win a big block modified race up in the Northeast.
This ought to be a good view from our right in front of Newman's truck. Where do you go? Where do you go?
Well,
so much for our camera.
There with the camera.
Oh man, what do we pay for that? That's got to be expensive. Up into the corner.
Seavey hanging on to the lead, and there's a spinner, and it's the 4 of Gilliland. Snyder involved in the accident as well, and that's a shame for both of those drivers because Gilliland and Snyder have both had good runs going tonight.
Man, that caution saves Logan a little bit. I know he got clear to lead, but Enfinger looked like he was much stronger than him. The one, clean corner they got to run through 3 and 4. So it's looking like it's gonna be a fun run here to the end.
Austin Hill also involved in that, the 0-2.
Let's get back to racing. That was good stuff, wasn't it? They went down and turned
4 wide.
You talked about slide jobs and diving low. That was 4 guys just saying, wherever you are, I'm going somewhere else. And what beautiful racing.
The 2 of Cody Coughlin sits idle as well.
The intensity is just going to ramp up more and more every one of these restarts. These guys in the truck series always so desperate. A lot of these people up front going for their first wins. So, man, 4 wide there on that restart. No contact. That was some great driving by everybody.
And wouldn't you want to give it up for Seavey on that start? He got rolling well. He was able to come with a lot of power off the second turn and grab the lead. Did a nice job there.
Yeah, his background, he's never done any shifting, going through gears. He's a young guy. Every street car he's probably rode in has been automatic. So, been really
Banging off the wall, trying to get by Seavey, and here comes Enfinger on the bottom. And the caution is out as a big crash on the backstretch.
Oh, that's good stuff.
25 is Dalton Sargent. The 15, J.R. Hefner.
Dang, that's where Bell's talking about, it's a tough spot to be in as the leader on what lane to choose. It worked out for Logan the first time, taking the top, got through the gears good. Briscoe has a little bit of fresher tire than Logan. Maybe did a little bit better job timing it and through the gears and was able to clear him easily before the center 1 and 2.
Well, that's just what you were talking about. Maybe the issue of he's never been in a situation of shifting. The more he has to do it, more opportunity for mistake.
Yeah, Chase just timed that really well. Didn't look like Logan spun too terribly bad, but yeah, that's a tough spot for the leader.
Man, that's what I warned you about. It's so easy to clear the slide jobs getting into turn 1 if you're on the bottom. You're just not quite up to speed yet whenever you get to turn 1, and the bottom you're running such a shorter distance.
And watch what happens behind this craziness. Norm Benning around. You saw a lot of damage to the 6 truck. Everybody's moved away from the track. Hopefully we can get right back to racing. See the damage there to the front.
Well, that's the 63 of Strickler. Through 3 and 4. Who's going to win it? The Dirt Derby. Briscoe nudging ahead. Enfinger coming, and it's going to be Chase Briscoe.
Oh, yeah.
Great finish there. We got him stacking up after the checkered big wreck into 1.
That was incredible.
There's some potential to run faster, as Michael said, when the hubs are warm, the gears warm, the transmission's warm. Oh, sideways!
Nice save. When I say save,
that was a save.
no concrete. If there was an issue with the tire,
you can see the black marks that those rear tires are making right there. Watch on Sim. He's going to jam that throttle down. That's where all the smoke comes from, to keep that truck from backing up any further.
So Spencer Davis, the good news and bad news of it. The good news is he didn't get into the wall and tear up the truck. The bad news is he'll have to put on 4 different tires and start at the rear of the field this afternoon.
You could see that splitter digging into the grass. He's lucky that he didn't suffer damage to that splitter due to that right there. You're supposed to call 811 before you dig, too. He didn't really have.
2 of Austin Hill running 5th. And Matt Mills into the wall. Boy, had such a great job in qualifying. It started slipping back a little bit in that first stage.
Just looked like loose and down into the corner. Did it look like maybe he was trying to reach over and side draft Johnny Sauter a bit?
Yeah, couldn't tell from that angle, but when it got a little bit loose, then he corrected, and then he just had to use some more room, and then finally the rear end kicked around. Hard contact with a safer barrier.
So under caution here at Michigan. And if you're somebody like Brett Moffitt, who had stayed out, did not pit the first time, thinking about maybe you could run the first 2 stages before you come to pit road, that certainly helps this caution and the caution laps, because the fuel window is pretty close there to stay out for 2 stages.
It was very close because we had 3 pace laps, and he was able to save during the caution. Let's see if we can ride along. This is Cody Coughlin we're riding along with. Whoa.
Yeah, that top lane will prevail. There you go.
Boy, that thing
no
snapped
caution.
quick,
Yeah, there
didn't
will
it?
be a caution. Still no
Because
caution.
Crafton was below him. He couldn't make the inside pass, and now he's gotten loose, and the 45 is going around, and contact for Fontaine.
Forward. All right, gathered up. Keep coming. You got 3 or 4 behind you. All the tires up.
No, we got bigger problems than that, too.
Get down a little bit. Get down out of the
Just flat tires.
We saw the 2 of Cody Coughlin get loose up there in that corner, and then I don't know if it was a reaction from Fontaine to what he saw ahead, but pretty heavy contact to the right front. That'll more than likely end his day.
Final stop for the 52, and the yellow is going to come out as Myatt Snyder has had contact.
He may have had contact with Grant Enfinger as they were trying to get to pit road.
Oh, one of them. Oh
no.
Was he braking to try to get down to get to pit road? And he was hitting the back. See the damage to the rear of the 13 truck? I think maybe Josh Rayoum was at the 33 that clipped him in the rear when Snyder was trying to get to pit road.
Well, Myatt Snyder's spent a good part of this day inside the top 10. That's unfortunate.
Not sure
for the young driver.
The red light wasn't on when he got to the entrance to pit road.
Watch the contact. I think that's Snyder trying to slow for pit road and was hit. Does that Dalton
Sargent that got into him? It
the
was.
Top low, and that's Justin Fontaine.
So that's maybe point counterpoint. When Snyder said loose is fast, I liked it. I bet you Fontaine's going to say loose isn't fast.
Oh, Brett Moffitt.
Wow, look how that truck just whipped around so quickly. Oh, see, it must have cut the right left.
That quick it did, too.
Yeah, it just cut that left rear tire. Moffitt's exhaust probably bounced into it right there, around it. See, sometimes loose is fast, but sometimes loose is bad.
I think that was a situation that I don't think Justin knew that there was a second truck in line going by him on the bottom, and I heard him say just
the 30 of Scott Lagasse Jr. has gone around right on the front stretch, just past the start-finish line, and brought out the caution. Daytona was running 21st at the time. Significant damage to that left front.
For him to go, you can see, oh, trouble.
It's the 04 of Roper. Corey Roper made a couple of starts this season from Baytown, Texas. Got a little help. Back to Bristol after this.
outside. Watch the pickup. Stay low. Stay low.
The 4 of Todd Gilliland around. Kept it off the wall. No significant damage. Watch the contact. Oh. John Hunter Nemechek, who won stage 1, is going to take care of business here. Oh, and Myatt Snyder is going around, and some contact with that inside wall.
You're rolling, bring it to us.
See the left rear and left front tires down. It'll be a chore to get that thing to the pits.
Snyder was running 15th, Rookie of the Year points later, and some significant damage.
On the lead lap, Vince just needed to make one more corner. He could have. See if he could have made it to the stage finish.
Here's what it looked like from Snyder's bumper cam.
Go there.
Brought back to the 6th position.
Oh, tough break for Roger Roos, the driver out of Birmingham, making his first start. Heavy damage.
That truck was prepared by Jordan Anderson Racing, sister truck to the 3 that we saw spin earlier. So tough day so far for Jordan Anderson.
Yeah, that's in turn number 5. He's following. Just got a little bit loose getting in the corner. Maybe a little wheel hop as he tried to use a lot of brake getting down in turn number 5. There's not a lot of runoff room there. We can see the result of that for the 97.
He got going and fired it back up and rolled on, still under green. Bruce was running back in the 24th position.
To make sure they get no debris on the racetrack, I think NASCAR will, track officials will leave the green flag out as long as we don't see any debris. That's probably tire smoke there, I would guess, from where the tires are rubbing.
So Roos is able to get it back to pit road. Likely the end.
Might have been 4 wide.
There might have been. Oh, and there it is. Self going around. Contact. And you guys said it 3 to 4 wide, and it just did not work. And the caution is out.
Well, that's a fast part of the racetrack to get turned around.
You can see Self's truck has come to rest. A lot of damage to both the left side, left front and rear. You know, I felt like they could make it down the back straightaway 3 wide, but I promise I saw 4 for a second, and that's usually a recipe for disaster.
I think they were okay when it was 3, and as soon as that 4th one got in there, it all went to.
Yeah. Tough break for Austin Wayne. Self really did a nice job staying up on the lead lap here. Was up in the top 15. He's had some pretty solid finishes here lately, but a lot of damage to that 22 truck.
Watch it, and it's all bunched up, and eventually, well, you just have nowhere to go.
See Stewart Friesen to 52. He's side by side right now. Brett Moffitt pulls over to make it 3 wide. Now Matt Crafton and John Hunter Nemechek are going to think about getting in this battle as well. See where the contact is made. It's already made there behind that tree.
Watch it from the view of Matt Crafton. Should give us a good view.
If you're going to hit a guy, do it behind a tree, though.
There's Self right there in the middle.
We're going to see what happened to him right here.
Oh, just clipped Friesen.
Yep.
He had Nemechek on his left, and Friesen was on his right.
And this is the angle we saw live. Even Nemechek got some contact there on the right side.
We talked about these drivers having multiple spotters around this 2.5-mile road course, but there's some places you just simply can't see. Here comes Gregson.
Coming into the 8th turn. Gilliland still holding on. Can Gregson get to the bumper? Through 8, 9, and here they come to turn 10, the final turn. Gregson gets underneath. Gilliland and Gregson go side by side and around. Justin Haley is going to come through and win in Canada.
You called it, Michael. Justin Haley.
The teammates take one another out, and Justin Haley comes through to win the playoff opener. Here they come through the final turns.
You see Gilliland slipped a bit and then shut the door. Gregson felt like he was already in the door and contact was made.
Is there blame to be assessed there?
Well, I don't know. It's hard racing. I mean, the 4 of Gilliland got a little bit loose off of turn number 9. That slowed his momentum enough to allow Gregson to get there on the inside. There's definitely a cause and an effect, Vince.
And I think the slip by Gilliland opened the door enough to where Gregson